Welcome to Comments Podcast, the show where we discuss a variety of topics with your host, Nina. What is happening to the weather in London? On Friday evening, there was a furore on social media with video clips being shared of the damage to homes, vehicles and shop fronts caused by strong winds in London and Essex areas. Apparently, it is assumed a mini tornado caused the havoc, leaving a trail of destruction as it hit the residential streets of East London districts. They say seeing is believing. Had someone mentioned London is experiencing a tornado, I would have definitely been slightly sceptical. One usually associates tornadoes with Kansas, USA, and the Wizard of Oz film, and not a metropolitan capital city. However, video clips shared on social media provided enough validation, revealing the vast extent of the damage caused by the mini tornado. Dozens of homes, businesses, and vehicles were damaged, with brick walls torn down, trees ripped from the ground. Fortunately, there were no reports of any casualties or fatalities. Instead, video clips reveal the strong winds, rain wreaking havoc, with objects seen flying through the air and the debris of destruction strewn everywhere. It must have been a terrifying experience for local residents, as this type of weather is so rare, and there does not appear to have been any major prior warning on the main weather forecast channels. It came as a total shock to many after hearing noises like thunder and watching the impact of the storm unfold in the early hours of the evening. The footage of trees and large objects flying across the street is reminiscent of a scene from a movie. The mini tornado was accompanied by torrential rainfall, resulting in flash flooding in parts of East London. Roads were flooded in residential areas, with cars and homes submerged underwater. The flooding and strong winds caused travel disruption inevitably, but due to the timing of its occurrence in the evening, there were luckily fewer numbers of commuters. Fortunately, this type of weather is a rare phenomenon in the UK and in London especially. As I mentioned, it is even rarer for it to occur in London. It does raise the question of climate change, and certainty the weather is being impacted by global warming. Weather patterns seem to be changing, and ordinary people are now witnessing these changes. There was a yellow warning about thunderstorms issued by the Met Office in London, but few residents in London would have assumed this to really be occurring in the city. This type of torrential rain and high winds are a rarity in London and totally unexpected, as I know, having been a resident in this city for many years. Many did not anticipate the extreme damage and it will cause to buildings, cars and even homes. The structural damage caused will cost thousands of pounds to repair and has left residents, business owners with a hefty repair bill. The other issue to contend with will be insurance claims and navigating through claim forms for thousands of people. Although this particular thunderstorm was on a relatively small scale, it has been a rude awakening for many as the reality of climate change altering weather patterns is observed. If anything, Londoners are well prepared usually for rain, but not for these extremes of weather. Houses, vehicles submerged under floodwaters, debris strewn across the roads are an extremely rare sight. In the aftermath of this storm, Londoners will now be checking the small print of their insurance to ensure they are adequately covered for any future weather surprises. Weather conditions are often temperate in London, but now it is a case of preparing for the unexpected. Londoners can now anticipate the frequency of unusual weather patterns to increase and prepare for the trail of destruction which follows. Fortunately, local authorities are providing support to residents, but everyone will now probably have to get accustomed to disruptive weather conditions. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. You can subscribe to the Comments podcast via iTunes, Spotify, and other major podcast providers.